onion. That's how I'm moving right now. That's how I'm moving ever since Microsoft went up 14%. What did I tell you, bro? I told you to invest in at the gaps. I told you to invest here and here. I told you a couple days ago that it was a good time to buy Microsoft because if you invested at each of these points, your average entry would be about here. I told you. And then it decided to shoot up during earnings. I hope it keeps this momentum because, I mean, it would just be insane if it just keeps going up, bro. It would be insane, bro. It would be insane. My only regret is not investing more. That's how you know. That's how you know. But I wanted to invest, I wanted to wait for it to hit this low to invest the rest of my money. And unfortunately, I never did. But I got plenty of opportunity beforehand, so it's fine, you know? It's fine, bro. It's fine. And now, last but not least, no, I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to talk about my expectations for the market, you know, if you're interested. Meta is down. I kind of prematurely invested into Meta. I'm one of them people that I was talking about where I was like, dude, all these people are going to be down so much and you're just going to be investing. That's me right now. That is me. Before I got through this epiphany of investment, just like knowledge and guru knowledge, I just bought it when it went down. Like I had no knowledge whatsoever of like when to buy it. And I guess that's a good thing because then that wouldn't, like, if I would have just made it, I wouldn't have had the correct motivation for me figuring it out. But now, because like you lose some and you learn something from that, you lose some and you learn something, that's how like now I know where I should have invested. And I think investing here as like a first point would have been a great opportunity. We see we even had a rejection off that and eventually went down. That's fine. Investing here as a second opportunity, again, great, literally bounce back up. But we're back in this area once again. So you'd probably be sitting a little below break even right now. And now I am personally I'm not gonna invest when these monthly lows are hit. Same as the reason I didn't invest when these weekly lows are hit is because if we're in an uptrend and we're making these lows and they're hit, like the uptrend, okay, here, let me show you. The uptrend was forming and market deemed it necessary for this low to get formed. And then market thought this price is the lowest price is gonna go before we continue the uptrend. This price is the lowest price is gonna go before we continue the uptrend. So naturally, when price hits this point again and sweep these lows, you're going to be thinking, okay, this is the lowest price it wants to go. So we're going to get a rejection. Meta did that and then went lower. This is the lowest we're going to go. We're going to get a rejection. What this doesn't mean is that we're going to bounce off of these zones because now like we're in an uptrend, whatever. Now let's say we create a downtrend. This doesn't mean anything. This doesn't mean anything, or it means something, but it doesn't mean as much as the original lows. So that's why I personally don't take trades off of like lows in a downtrend being swept because it's not really a sweep if it's a downtrend, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I feel like right now. I'm not investing anything into Meta until, if hopefully it doesn't, but until it hits these lows, because at that point it's like these lows, previous all-time highs, consolidation. It's just a bunch more of the stuff I've been telling you. What even happened? Consumer personal AI agents. Just wrap it up with the AI stuff, bro. Can we just go up? But yeah, that's pretty much all with market. I don't want to, how do I just hide it? Yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go. Basically what I wanted to say is that honestly, yes, swept out these weekly lows. I don't think it means all that much, to be honest. If we're speaking heart to heart, I don't think it means all that much because you look at this and you're seeing, okay, swept out these weekly lows, but there's weekly lows right here. We technically made an SMT off these weekly lows, but now we swept out this SMT. So now it's like, okay, well now there's the other SMT, but then it's like, why wouldn't we just invalidate this SMT too? And NQ didn't hit price range. If you see, even if you counted this as like price range, it barely didn't hit all-time highs. ES hit nothing. It's not even here yet. And so I think that we got our little up move today. See, this is where I'm a little nervous, slash, like, I'm not really scared, but I'm a little nervous, is that I thought there was going to be more of a push from sweeping these weekly lows from the market. And I'm not talking about no day trading stuff, no nothing. I'm speaking this to you so that you know when it's like a better opportunity to invest. Like you're thinking, oh, should I invest now after these weekly lows were swept? Like in case you were following my content and you like watch the liquidity sweep videos, this is me basically explaining in real time why I just don't think that's the case. It could be, but I don't think that's the case. And so It swept out these lows. I thought, like today, I thought we did get a strong push, obviously, but I thought we were going to get a crazy push on ES because we got a strong push on NASDAQ. We went up 3% on NASDAQ. But NASDAQ's not the one that swept out weekly lows. NASDAQ's not the one with the bullish SMT. SMT basically means when NASDAQ makes lower lows. Oops. When NASDAQ makes lower lows and ES makes higher lows from those lows. That's called an SMT divergence. It's called SMT for short. But you don't really have to know about that. The point is, like, obviously, if this thing's going higher than NASDAQ, it would make sense that it would react higher than NASDAQ. But that's not the case. Because we see that ES is only down 5%, or it was down 5% to the lows. NASDAQ's down 12%. So it's like, obviously, ES should be leading to the upside. But I think that, or this is what I was kind of nervous about, is that, like, I thought that there's going to be a little bit more of a retrace. But NASDAQ's the one that got the retrace. And so what I'm thinking now is that we're, like, obviously, like, I'm not predicting, I'm reacting. I'm not predicting, I'm reacting. I've seen, like, previous times we've, like, completely bounced. We've got another up day, something like that. I'm not predicting, I'm reacting. So I'm not going to predict that the retrace is going to continue or that we're going to just fall straight down. But I did think we were going to go higher today. And the fact that we didn't makes me say that perhaps, like, ES, the reason it's not going up as much as NASDAQ is because NASDAQ swept out all this liquidity. NASDAQ swept out all this liquidity. That's why it's going up. That's why it has enough liquidity to then go up and go higher, right? But ES didn't sweep any liquidity. It just swept this weekly low. And you're thinking, oh, well, weekly low is strong. I agree with you. But guess what? NASDAQ swept that weekly low ages ago. Ages. It had this little retrace already. Boom, down. But it already gathered all this liquidity. It's already here. So it going up 2.5% is more valid than ES going up 0.67% because ES would be right here. This is where NASDAQ is at. And so it makes sense to me that ES maybe just literally doesn't have enough of that push, doesn't have enough of that momentum to push itself upwards, which is why it's just going to go for this low. That's my guess. And then after that, I think that if ES indeed ends up going to this low, NASDAQ, I don't know if it's going to stall out and, like, if it's going to continue being leading or if it's going to, be lagging again or, like, leading to the downside. But I think that ES is going to take these lows. And, this just looks like too easy of an, oops, God, stop doing that. This looks like too easy of an area to miss. Look, weekly low. Then boom, we got stacked up. Low, low, highs, consolidation. It just seems like too easy of an area to hit where there's, like, liquidity, previous orders, all this, all that, to actually miss. On NASDAQ, when that gets hit, I don't know what NASDAQ's going to do. I don't know if it's going to go here or if it's going to stay here and start, like, kind of just consolidating. But that's just my 2 cents. NASDAQ, I don't know if it wants to retrace higher into this area, but it wouldn't make sense since it didn't really hit anything. It already swept out the liquidity on the 4 hour, right? It already swept this liquidity out. So that's all I'm going to say. I think that we are in for an interesting run. And of course, I'll update you guys with any positions that I'm personally going to be taking or any positions that I am not going to be taking, I guess. And yeah, STR is down 6% today. It's tragic. I don't know if I should sell because on the one hand, I want to buy PayPal because, like, I can't have MSTR and PayPal. I only have the mental budget for one stupid stock at a time. At the end of the day, I'm just gonna sell MSTR and I'm gonna buy PayPal. And we're gonna see how it goes. I'm selling the exact amount of MSTR I have and I'm buying PayPal. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully PayPal is a little stronger than MSTR. And I don't know. Nothing much to say about the market today except for one thing. These stocks opened super high. Like Western Digital opened up 10%. And then it went down to break even to a negative. And so this just to me signals that, like, bro, like, it's wraps. Like, we opened up, we had our little bit of relief, but bro, it's wraps. Like, with the higher time frame trend is down, bro. Like, you know those memes where it's like the high time frame is bullish, bro? It's not not anymore, bro. It's just over. It's over. It's all over. Okay, so Apple, I know a bunch of you guys are just gonna buy Apple. You could, but don't make the same mistake I made with Meta. What did Meta do? It crashed on earnings and I just bought it here. And then once I actually got smart and I used my brain, then I'm like, okay, I probably just shouldn't buy randomly when it goes down. I should buy, like, at certain levels. And that's when I started buying at certain levels and my dollar cost average was brought way down. Obviously not as down as this, but it could be as down as this if I didn't make that mistake the first time. But mistakes are how you learn. And I think that, I mean, it could be completely different, right? Apple is way different than Meta. Apple could just end up trending upwards, right? But that doesn't deny the fact that if you look at Apple, like, it's genuinely just, it's genuinely just been in an uptrend. And there's bound to be one of these situations where you're thinking, oh, Apple's cooking, and then this happens. And all of a sudden, Apple's down 30% from all-time highs. And then you get an opportunity to invest. And then you're like, boom, Apple's cooking, we're going up. And then boom, Apple is another 30% from all-time highs. Like, this could be one of those situations. Right now, we're only 12% from all-time highs. But like here, in each of these situations, there's a place to invest. And I believe that, there's a place right now too. Perhaps when Apple dips beneath these monthly lows, which are stacked up weekly lows, previous highs, I mean, I feel like this is a really good opportunity to invest into Apple. Obviously, I'm always a pessimistic or a skeptic or whatever. I always would rather it fall more than fall less. So like, I'm always the type that I buy some here and then I buy more if it falls more. But like, time and time again, it's happened that like IBM, Costco, and perhaps Apple in this situation, like, they all just touch monthly lows and just shoot upwards because they're that strong of a stock, But like, where that strategy did save me is like with Meta. With Meta, I just bought a little, then as it kept falling, I bought more. With Microsoft, I bought a little, but as it kept falling, I bought more and more and more, which is why my dollar cost average is pretty low on Microsoft and why this is a really nice push. But if I deployed most of my capital when this monthly gap was hit, because think about it, we were right here. We were already down 20%. We have a monthly gap. We are already down 30%. We have a monthly gap. If you just bought it here, I mean, yeah, your break-even point would be here and you'd be in profit. But at the same time, you'd be down 15% and you wouldn't be able to bring your dollar cost average down. So with Apple, I think I'm definitely going to put in money or I think, like, if you have any saved up money, like, you should probably invest into Apple as it goes past these lows. But remember that it might not stop here. It might be one of these situations where you think, oh, it's going to stop at these lows, but it just keeps on going. And so you should always be ready for that. It's a pretty risky game. So I'd say dollar cost average opportunity right there. And then, me, I'm in love with Equilibrium. I'm in love with the stripper, she rockin', she rollin'. Okay, it looks like Equilibrium's actually higher than these monthly lows. So investing on monthly lows could actually be a solid strat. And then let's look at the 3-month. I'm in love with the stripper, she rockin', she rollin', she rollin'. I feel like this is a pretty decent spot too. Okay, let's see if that aligns with any. It aligns with previous all-time highs. That's all I can say. A gap, maybe? Gap on the daily. Oh, look at that. Look at that, guys. This isn't scripted. Literally gap on the daily right here. So boom, you have gap on the daily, Equilibrium, and previous all-time highs. That'd be a great opportunity to invest a second portion if Apple does end up falling that far. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing really much to discuss. Google, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, Google had bad earnings, and then it's literally just trending upwards because it's a solid stock. So if you really want to, you could invest into Apple. But I'm here to try to show you the bottoms. Right? I'm here to try to show you the bottoms. I'm here trying to show you, I'm here trying to show you these reversals, these plays where you could literally buy it at the bottom. I'm trying to show you that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.